Hi, welcome to the Legal Lounge, and I'm Silva. I'm actually a criminal defense attorney who's been practicing in Los Angeles for over 17 years. I started as a Los Angeles public defender, and now I have my own firm. So I thought we'd discuss a couple of things. Today, I really wanted to discuss children. So I represent adults and juveniles, anyone who's been arrested or has committed a crime. And I love representing children. And the reason, everyone always asks me why, it's because when children are arrested and they're in the system, you can actually change their lives if they're guilty. And trust me, I've represented a lot of not guilty children. But if they get in the system early enough through therapy, through counseling, through just making sure that they're on the right track, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to recommit done right. But today I want to talk about something that's been in the news quite a bit. Children are coming back to school, and we have had a couple of major stories that have really bothered me. First, in Austria, there were three teenagers. The youngest was 15 years old. Three children who were all born in Austria who were threatening to cause violence at the Taylor Swift concert, claiming an allegiance to ISIS. And I don't want to get political here, but I do want to bring up the person who tried to shoot President Donald Trump and the problem that this kid who was a 20-year-old child, well, okay, he was a 20-year-old adult, but by all accounts had been relentlessly bullied his whole life. I mean, we all saw his picture. It was gut-wrenching to see that this young man did not have an existence that included a lot of friends. In fact, by all accounts, he was isolated and was bullied. And I just wanted to talk about how can we prevent our children from getting in trouble, and what I've learned after so many years practicing in arguably one of the most busy counties. The first issue is bullying. And if your child is being bullied, demand from the school that they actually protect your child and document their protection. It's not just talking to the bully and saying, hey, stop doing that, or the parents. They really need to foster a community of safety. And what we see is bullying after so many years creates an isolated child who has a tendency of taking it out on either the school or other children. I had a case, same thing, an incredibly intelligent young man who had been bullied relentlessly. He was born in another country. He had an accent. He was just seen as different. He was bullied so much that he actually bullied the kid who bullied him back in a way that was violent, that got him in the system. Now, we were able to take care of the case because we showed evidence of the relentless bullying. And not only that, but the school didn't do anything to help him, to give him the protection, to make him feel safe in school. And the warning signs were really all over the place. As I said with the Trump shooter, isolation, not having friends, being shunned. And this kid was an athlete. I had encouraged the father, because he was doing community leagues. I said, put him in basketball in the high school. And he actually made the team. And by all accounts, he is incredibly loved by his teammates, has been in no trouble 3 years later, and is doing terrific. So make sure, if you have a child who's not opening up to you, who's incredibly isolated, encourage them to talk to you. The second thing is, please go through their social media, and they are going to complain. They're going to say, Mom, Dad, this is not your business. This is my social media. Well, it's not really their social media. Whatever they post, it doesn't go away. It's public. And if a crime is committed, the officers have every right to get a warrant and go through their social media history. Now, in the Trump shooter's case, that was kind of an odd case. That 20-year-old had no social media. In fact, he was so isolated, he only had really a gun group. And let me say, usually gun groups don't spurn this violent behavior. But in this 20-year-old's case, it gave him an opportunity to try to make a name for himself or do something that he thought he had to do. So definitely put your minor in sports, or put them in some kind of group. Look, I was in the chess club. I was relentlessly bullied as a child, but the chess club did give me a place of belonging. Or put them in some kind of sport where they can have teammates and friends and learn to deal with a team. My point is try to fight the isolated behavior. So instead of spending hours upon hours on social media with the internet friends that are not really real, they can actually have a real environment of protection and friendship, which pulls them out of an isolationist atmosphere. The other issue too is in social media, you want to make sure they're not being bullied. We've had so many cases of parents not even understanding the level of bullying that was happened to their child. But when we encouraged them to go through the social media, they were astonished. That is the only way that you can protect your child from being bullied online or being preyed upon or joining a group that doesn't care about them, that uses them for their own benefit. We see this a lot with international cases with ISIS. They know to recruit young minds, isolated minds, because it's easy to give them a false sense of security and home. So don't allow that kind of behavior. The third aspect is therapy. It's been less of an issue now where people think that mental health is such an awful thing. It's not. We always say we protect people when they have cancer. We can also protect people who have a mental illness. It is literally a disease of the mind. Therapy and counseling can do wonders to make a child feel that they are being heard and they are being seen. If the child doesn't open up to you, they might very well open up to a therapist and let them know what they're going through. And the therapist can encourage them to open up to you, because only through knowledge can you know what's going on at school with your child. If they shut down, if they seem incredibly sad, medication might not be the only answer. We're so quick to give medication. Sometimes absolutely it works. But other times, just talking and engaging the minor can do wonders. Look, it's not easy to raise children, but where I'm coming from is before you have to hire me or before you have to come to me, use the tools to fight for your child. Number one, if they're being bullied in school and you find out about it, demand that the school take action to protect your child so they know school is a safe environment for them and they're not afraid. Second, fight isolation. Go through their social media. See if they have social media accounts. Are they being bullied? Are there groups that are trying to recruit them, or do they have this kind of behavior that is worrisome? For instance, hypotheticals online about, violence or saying that guns are cool. The third issue is if you see your child is pulling away, all is not lost. Encourage them to see a therapist. A therapist can open them up, give them the tools to deal with what they're dealing with, and also properly encourage them to talk to you. It's hard enough to raise children these days, but if you add all of the issues that we deal with on a grand basis, and social media being one of the biggest, you have to be aware and proactive and show your child you're not trying to interfere, you're just trying to protect them. All right, signing off from the Legal Lounge. Take care, you guys. A pleasure to see you.